Well, we are just 3 weeks and 1 day away from the NFL draft beginning in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And on this episode of Wednesday Night Live, we're going to break down the offensive tackle position. We know the Jets have a huge need at right tackle, so we're going to talk about that position tonight. Also, we got some 3 and out. We got some Jets trivia. Hey, I think we're going to spin the wheel tonight as well. Maybe we'll do a mock draft. We'll just see how everything goes. But you know what's up. It's Wednesday night. It's 6 p.m. and we are live. Well, welcome everybody into New York Sports WickerMedia. I am your party host, Watsu-K99. Thank you as always for taking the time to join me for another Wednesday night extravaganza. All right, we are here. Well, we are in the shadow of Yankee Stadium here. I actually want to talk about a couple things tonight, and we will get into the Jets in a couple of minutes. Of course, if you're in the chat right now, glad that you're here. Feel free to leave a comment, say where you're from, just what's going on. I see the great Harlan Abraham is here. Father Abraham himself. That's right. Welcome to the Wicker Chair. And of course, hit that like button. Your promotion helps pretty much as mine does as well. So I definitely appreciate it. We're going to get into some offensive tackles tonight. This is your one-stop shop to know about 16 different tackles that'll be drafted in just a couple of weeks from now. So you will want to check out the content that I've got planned for you in a little bit. Before we do that, let's talk about what's on my mind. And I got a lot on my mind in a segment that we call 3 and Out. First thing I'm going to talk about is the New York Mets. Now, being the absolute fool that I am, I go down to Houston, Texas. One of the most up and down vacations of my life. The food was amazing. There were some good people, and there are some absolute scumbags down there, particularly those that work in the rental car industry over there. I'm just going to leave it at that. Went to 2 games. Mets won 1, then lost 1, and now they go to Miami. I should have had a handful of mixed nuts before, because now I'm going to start coughing. I had to know better than that. So right now they're playing the just lovely Miami Marlins down at Miami, 1-1 in the first 2 games, and right now they're losing 2-1 in the bottom of the 5th. I can understand losing 2 out of 3 to a team like Houston. I got no patience for losing 2 out of 3 to the pathetic, crappy, stinky, smelly Marlins. This would be embarrassing. And just more and more bad news keeps coming out. Sean Manaea is out another couple of weeks. The oblique inflamed back up. Now he won't be back, let's be honest, until June. And now I see Met fans turning on just about half the roster. Kodai Senga. I got to see fools on social media who want this guy off the team. Of course, they don't keep in mind that Manaea and Frankie Montas are out for 2 months. They also forget Kodai Senga in his first year with the Mets had a sub-3 ERA just 2 years ago. But yeah, let's get rid of him now. Yeah, who are you going to call up? Bring up Paul Blackburn with his knee inflammation? Stop. Just stop. Can we not just turn the whole roster over after a week? The lack of hitting is pissing me off, no doubt about it, but I'm not about to kill the whole roster for it. All right. I didn't mind losing to Sandy Alcantara last night. It just sucks when Francisco Lindor makes 2 errors because he's so good. 12 errors all of last year, makes 2 on Tuesday night. Listen, come back. Win this game. Okay, you're down. As of the sound of my voice right now, they got 12 outs to work with. They're only down 1 run. Go into the home opener on Thursday at 5. I think Friday at 500. I don't think that's asking a whole heck of a lot. As far as the Yankees go, well, they currently have a 3-1 record. They've been scoring like gangbusters on the other hand. 36 runs in 3 games in Milwaukee. They lose to a good Arizona team on Tuesday, 7-5. Eugenio Suarez with a grand slam in the 8th inning off Mark Leiter. Tonight, it's going to be Zach Gallen against Carlos Rodon. Pretty good. By the way, I gotta wonder about something with the schedule here with the Yankees. Who decided the Yankees' first 3 series would be against National League teams? Who decided? Milwaukee at home, Arizona at home, and now they go to Pittsburgh before going to Detroit. Oh, by the way, after that, they host the Giants. 4 out of the first Yankee 5 series are against National League teams. My goodness, what are we doing? I don't know. But as far as baseball, I guess you got to be pretty happy if you're a Yankee fan. If you're a Met fan, you got to be a little bit worried, especially if they find a way to lose this game to the Marlins. And also, I got to mention the New York Islanders. That's right. I'm talking hockey, and I don't even want to mention that crap team that plays at Madison Square Garden. All right, hosting Minnesota tonight. Gabe Perreault, a big prospect, makes his debut. Oh, joy. This team doesn't give a shit about making the playoffs. But I want to talk about the Islanders. So on Tuesday, they lose 4-1 to Tampa Bay. Their 6th straight loss as they fade and fade and fade in the playoff race. But after the game, head coach Patrick Roy unloads on Anthony Duclair. All right, the Islanders' big free agent signing this offseason, mind you, pretty much their only free agent signing. This guy got 4 shifts in the 3rd period, and he was brought in to be the goal scorer that they have needed for years and years and years. He played 12 minutes and 15 seconds. Roy was asked, and here's what he said about Duclair. He was god-awful. He had a bad game. That's why I didn't play him a lot, and he's lucky to be in the lineup. Sorry if I lose it on him right now, but that's how I feel. And then when asked what he was seeing in Duclair's game, Ross said it's an effort thing. Wow. Maybe that's why Duclair has played with 9 franchises since 2014 when he started with the Rangers. But Duclair signed a 4-year, $14 million contract with the Islanders just this past summer. Oh, and even better, he's got a no-trade clause through 2026. Islanders can't move him for at least a year. Oh my gosh! If you're an Islanders fan, man, you have to be livid right now. Absolutely livid. All right, well, I'll tell you what. Let's get that out of the way. I think we need to change the background right now. We're going to change it from the UBS Arena. Let's put a little green there in the background. There we go. So, New York Jets fans, I know you're here. I know you're ready to go as we switch it over from blue to green. So, everybody, you know what we got to say. Let's say it. And somehow I'm on full screen. I don't even know how I did that. Oh, my gosh. I think I just finally figured that out. All right, so we got a few things to talk about with the Jets. First of all, let's talk about Tony Alexio. A good evening to you as well, the president of the Chris Streveler fan club and one of our most loyal attenders, Tony. I appreciate you very much, my friend. And it's a highway to the danger zone. That's right, the Great Dane. Check his channel out as well. You won't be sorry that you did. And let's see. Quick check. Yes, the Mets have first and second. The Marlins have first and second. 2 outs. In comes Reed Garrett. Well, he is pretty good at getting those big outs. So, yeah, not a great start by Clay Holmes, but manageable. Again, no run support. Dane, I hope you're doing well. All right, let's talk about some of the news that's going on in Jetsville. So earlier in March, the Jets offered buyouts to about 170 of their 250 employees. The deadline for accepting was Monday. And it's not about financial issues. It's more of the idea of changing the culture, new leadership, get some new voices. We know there have been a lot of leaks coming out of Florham Park over the last few years. Maybe this is an effort to try to curtail that a little bit. So, and they offered some pretty good buyouts, like a good amount of pay time's worth, depending on your tenure with the franchise. So it's not as if they're getting rid of them and saying, hey, good luck, you're on your own. So not the biggest deal. You hate for anybody, for any decent, hardworking person to lose a job. But clearly some different omen is needed in that building. And hey, Aaron Rodgers complained about the leaks himself. So maybe that kind of put him on edge. You might call it the Department of Jets Efficiency. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm all about a little bit of Jets efficiency. I think that would actually be good. Elijah Vera Tucker, according to Aaron Glenn, will stay at guard, which I'm in favor of. But Darren Muji said that Josh Myers will push Joe Tippin. So with the signing of Josh Myers, the idea is he is here to play center. But Aaron Glenn, we know he wants to create competition. That's what it is. But Josh Myers even has a Pro Bowl incentive. Now, how many times have you seen a backup player come to a football team with a Pro Bowl incentive? Okay, so I don't even know why Josh Myers would have agreed to that. But if it comes that Myers plays center, Tippmann plays guard, and AVT goes to right tackle, well, I guess that's what we're going to roll with. We know Tippmann is a very capable blocker. His biggest issue has been the snaps. All right. And some people like AVT at guard. Some like him at tackle. I just don't want to keep moving him around. I really, really don't. Especially when his contract is coming up very soon. I don't think it's a situation where he's going to want to learn a brand new position. Okay. So we'll see what winds up happening. But it would possibly remove one need that the Jets have, and that's right tackle, which of course we'll get into. But also Aaron Glenn talked about moving in silence. I think that also relates to that, the whole department of Jets efficiency. Too much noise coming out. Glenn also talked about, and Muji also talked about the contract extension situations. We've seen a lot of cornerbacks getting signed as of late, and the salary just keeps going up and up and up. And there's been a huge outcry on social media. You got to pay Sauce, otherwise it's going to keep going up and up. There's really no other cornerback who's going to get paid in the foreseeable future. We don't expect. Not going to get a huge contract. They're pretty much all paid for at this point. Okay, so the time for extensions is going to happen after the draft. All right, I'm fine with that. I don't have a huge issue with it. And if both of them would accept $30 million a year, both Garrett and Sauce, I'd be very happy with that, especially as we see the salary cap continue to go up and up and up. Other news that I thought was pretty important, Jordan Travis is yet to be cleared by doctors. Glenn would not say if he expects him to be cleared by OTAs. If the Jets draft a developmental quarterback, I think that will say a lot about the situation with Jordan Travis and what kind of contribution he might be able to make this summer and into the fall as well. Harlan, AVT is basically a guard that can play tackle. Yes, he can play tackle if you need him to. You don't really want him as your left tackle, and thankfully the Jets are not in a situation where that would be a concern. But yeah, I think he's a guard first, but he can play tackle if you need him to. There's a couple of offensive linemen like that in this draft, and we're going to talk about them in just a few minutes. Another thing I wanted to talk about was an article I saw on ESPN and what Matt Bowen did. And now there's a couple of guys who write for ESPN for the NFL. Some I like, some I don't. Matt Bowen, I think, is one of the good ones. I think he's fair. I think he's pretty trustworthy for the most part. But he just picked 20 players, not necessarily the top 20 players, but 20 players he thought would be a perfect fit for a certain NFL team. Now, when I first saw this article, I actually did the find feature, Control+F, and typed in Jets because I honestly wasn't even expecting that they would think there'd be a perfect fit for the Jets in this draft. But I figured, okay, let me take a look here. And lo and behold, there was a player that is in this draft that they think would be a perfect fit for the New York Jets. And so you might be wondering, well, who is that player? Watch it, K99. I'm going to show you on the very next slide. It's somebody that we talked about on this channel in the last couple of weeks. It's a tight end, and it's Mason Taylor from LSU, 6'5", 251 pounds. And Bowen is advocating the Jets draft Taylor with their second-round pick with pick number 42. So here's what Bowen says about it and why he's in favor of the pick. I'm going to quote from the article. Tanner Engstrand, the Jets' new offensive coordinator, was previously the pass game coordinator with the Lions. That's relevant because I believe Taylor can be schemed in the route tree just like Sam Laporta had been schemed up in Detroit. So what he's seeing is how Laporta was used, Taylor can be used. Now, he should only have the upside of a Sam Laporta. But going on, he says, Taylor has the three-level ability to run the deep corners and seams and Engstrand could get him loose on crossers and boot concepts. Taylor had 546 receiving yards last season, has strong hands and a wide catch radius, so he quickly developed into a reliable target for Justin Fields. My worry is, can he handle blocking duties on the move or in space? Or he can handle on the move or in space, but inline action will be a challenge for him. All right. So here's what I'm going to say about that. I look at Jeremy Ruckert, and that's basically the same profile, especially when it comes to the blocking. The only time Jeremy Ruckert does any blocking is when he's in that H-back position and he gets a running start. But if you ask him to be that X tight end, lined right up next to the offensive line, he's got about as good a chance of blocking your average NFL down lineman as I do. Not 5'8", 185 pounds, okay? It's just not going to work. And the Jets have already interviewed Mason Taylor at the Combine, so certainly he is on their radar. And what's up, the great Johnny Boy, holding down the fort up there in Virginia, in the south part of the Hampton Roads section of Virginia. Johnny, hope you're having a great week, my friend. Hope you and the family are happy, healthy, and safe. Always glad when you have a chance to drop by, my man. I sure do appreciate it. So I thought what I would do is show the top 30 visits, because you can have those, those full visits with 30 prospects, and also what players the Jets have attended for college pro days. So with top 30 visits, they have done 7 of those so far. And as we look at this list, you see a pretty big variety. Mostly, though, it's not first-round players. It's third, fourth, and so on down the road. Dean Clark, the safety from Fresno State, we talked about him. Arian Smith, wide receiver from Georgia. Ariante Ursary from Minnesota. We're going to talk about him tonight when we get into the offensive tackles. Quinn Ewers, Jets doing a lot of research on the Longhorns quarterback. They also went to his college pro day, and they had a top 30 visit. Another player they're looking at very closely is JCM, the running back from Arizona. Now, most of us would say the Jets have no need at running back. There's no need to draft a running back, no need to trade for a running back, no need to sign a UDFA running back. But the Jets are using one of those top 30 visits on Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. We'll call him JCM, from the Arizona Wildcats. They also brought in Maxwell Hairston from Kentucky. I think cornerback might be an underrated position to look at here. I think it's being a little bit overlooked, but I would pay attention to it as far as depth goes. And then Cam Miller, the quarterback from North Dakota State, expected to go sometime during day 3, maybe 6th round, somewhere in that area. The Jets are taking a look at him as well. That's doing absolutely nothing. God dang. All right, and then when we look at college pro days, private workouts they've attended, Tyler Warren from Penn State, Shamar Stewart, defensive. They really like the Texas A&M guys, as you could tell. Shamar Stewart, Nick Scorton, hope I pronounced that right, Shamar Turner. A lot of Shamars that we got to differentiate between. At Georgia, they were taking a look at Jalon Walker, who is expected to go in the top 10 or so, and Nazir Stackhouse. Now, if you were here last week, you know Rusty Spooner is a Nazir Stackhouse groupie. He loves him some Stackhouse as that run stopper up the middle. Quinn Ewers, as we've already mentioned, Hayden Connor, guard from Texas, Terrence Ferguson. A lot of Jet fans very high on him, as am I as well. I put him maybe in the top 5 tight ends that are out there. Kyle McCord and Jordan McLeod from Syracuse and Texas State, respectively. So we got a McCord and a McLeod at quarterback that we're looking at. And I think we're going to get into quarterbacks sometime in the very, very near future. There is always a need for a running back, Harlan says. Injuries occur. Absolutely true. You need a lot of running backs when you'll be running the ball a lot. Well, we already do have 3. If they want to look at a running back, that's one thing, but I wouldn't use a draft pick on a running back. Not at this point. And I think I still go back to the old Broncos teams, the old Redskin teams. If you've got a good enough blocking scheme, you've got a good enough offensive line, it's going to make your running backs look that much better. So, Mets go absolutely nowhere in the 6. My God, not even a base runner with 2, 3, 4. Holy hell. All right. So we've looked at those. Just to give you a little bit of info, I'm actually going to go back to the top 30 visits here for just a second. So we talked about Dean Clark in the past. Now, Arian Smith, he's dealt with some injuries. He has just 20 catches in 33 games in 4 years. 2024 did very well. 48 catches, 817 yards, 4 touchdowns. But he's only 6 feet, 179 pounds. So this would be a later pick. Ursary, I'm going to get into him later. Quinn Ewers, very talented passer, but a lot of inconsistencies. Had a stacked roster at Texas. Completed about 66% of his passes this year. 31 touchdowns, 3,472 yards. I guess one of the big questions is how well does he run? Does he read a defense? And we've dealt with enough quarterbacks who aren't really able to. With JCM, he's 5'10", 206 pounds, and he still had a 40 time of 4.45. But at Alabama State, before he went to Arizona, not too good. He never got past 500 rushing yards in the season. 2023, he goes to New Mexico, 1,191 yards and 17 touchdowns. But then he had eligibility issues in 2024, had just 13 carries with Arizona. Don't count on this guy getting drafted. Maxwell Hairston from Kentucky. This is more of a mid-round pick, maybe third round, fourth round. Has dealt with some injuries as well. Super fast, 4.28 40-yard dash. So he is a burner. 6 interceptions, 3 of which he took back to the house for a pick 6. 10 passes defensed, 3 forced fumbles in 2 years. So he's a game changer. Allowed only 3 touchdowns over 91 targets in his college career. And he is more of a zone corner, not a great tackler. He's more of a zone corner. I don't know if he's really going to fit, but definitely some great raw speed as well. All right, so just a few notes on those top 30 visit guys. There we go. All right, let's get rid of that. Danger asks, rumors rumbling about Denver being interested in a trade for Brees. Do you have any thoughts on it? And Johnny says, if they give me a second, I would take it. Yeah, I would take a second as well. No question about that. But we used the second round to pick him, and Brees has what, 1 year left at this point? Because you can't. It would be a 1 year of Brees because you can't give him the 5th-year option. He's a second. He was a second round pick. So to me, I think we would get maybe a 4th round pick for him. I don't think we would get that. I don't think we would get a 4 back. But I'm just going to double check real quick. So the Broncos, I believe, I don't think the Broncos, do they still have their 1st round pick? Yeah, they have their 20. Yeah, they have the 20. They have the 51st pick. All right. So that is sort of just past the middle of the second round. I don't think we're going to get that really. I think maybe you get a 4th round pick and that's about it. And I would like to give Brees a chance with a better offensive line at this point. One that actually has some good coaching behind it. So that's kind of like what I'm feeling there. You'd have to knock me out. A 3rd round pick, I consider it, but then you're creating another need. Allen and Davis are both good, but you would need a 3rd running back at that point, and then you really do have some competition. So yeah, they might be interested, but what are they willing to offer? I guess that's what it comes down to. All right. Let's talk about our main event of the night. We're going to talk about wide receivers and specifically, not wide receivers. No. That's that was not the right slide. We had a few tech issues before this one tonight. So I'm going to go back in. It'll just take me about 10 seconds to get the right slides up. I knew something was wrong when I saw 15 instead of 16 because we're doing 16 offensive tackles. All right, there we go. The top 16 offensive tackles in the 2025 draft. Okay, here we go. So I want to mention a couple things here. So as far as the offensive tackle position as a whole, the expectation is 4 to 5 tackles will come off the board in the 1st round. A lot of the 2nd and 3rd round tackles could end up being just solid, decent players as opposed to high impact players. So And it is pretty hard to get a really good starting offensive tackle later on in the draft, unless you're a team like Philadelphia, who just manages to pull it out of nowhere. Okay, it's going to be tough to find a good diamond in the rough, but you can find an okay, decent rotational player. But if you want to get a starter, you better do it in the first round or two, I would say. So before we do that, I'm going to get into a couple of offensive tackles, guys who have played offensive tackle, but might be more suited to move inside to the guard or even the center position when they get to the pros. The first one is Gray Zabel from North Dakota State. Very, very intriguing prospect. 6'5", 316 pounds, dominant at the Senior Bowl, had the highest vertical of any offensive lineman at 36.5 inches. What that means, great explosion. He fared very well in the one-on-one portion, showed great strength. He has a very good anchor where he'll slow down pass rushers. And he seemed to look most comfortable, from what I heard and what I read, at guard and center. So that's where most scouts have him projected. That's why I'm not including him on this list. But he's a mauler in the run game, good lateral movement. He will do his best work in a zone blocking system. He does have some concerns with penalties, and he's got the infamous short arms. I mean, I've never seen arm length become so big of an issue before, but that's what it seems to be now. I think he's going to go round two. I think early round two. I could see him going in the top 50. I think Zabel is a very, very capable interior offensive lineman. Then Donovan Jackson from The Ohio State University, 6'4", 320 pounds, not overly flashy, but he's got that classic NFL frame build, good fundamental technique, good leadership. He could start very early on. He's a very good run blocker, especially going downhill, but his foot quickness, I'm not talking about speed, straight running, but foot quickness is not as good. Again, somewhat short arms. I think this is more of an late day 2, early day 3 pick. Late 3rd, early 4th for Donovan Jackson. And this last guy, Marcus Mbo, I'm going to call him, from Purdue University, 6'4", 303 pounds. I think this is a center as well. I've seen a few different places where he is considered to be a tackle, but he's a very fluid mover. He anchors the line well. I think he's more prone to be a center. He's got powerful hands, a very explosive first step, which you need as a center. He's very good at recognizing defensive schemes. You also want your center to be very intelligent. With the right development, I think he could be a very, very good center. I don't see him as a tackle, though. All right. Mets out of the 6th. All right. So 6th inning is open. Now on to the 7th inning in Miami. Okay. All right. Let's get into our countdown. The top 16 offensive tackles, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Who you might think I have too high, too low, who I've got right. It's a whole lot more fun when I get to get your feedback. All right. So first of all, we're going to talk about number 16. This is Emory Jones from LSU, 6'5", 315 pounds. A 3-year starter in an offense that is very pass-heavy. He will give you great size, strength, and power. His athleticism is going to be kind of average. Now, he's a mauler in the run game. He thrives on being physical. So if you're looking for a straight power blocking, run blocking, offensive tackle, Jones could be a guy that you really want. What concerns scouts are his balance and his flexibility. The issue with Jones is he plays too far over his toes, so he tends to fall off blocks. He is also going to struggle in space, so second-level blocking is a challenge, okay? And also quick edge rushers can get around him, and he's not very good at recognizing stunts and twists, and for a 3-year starter, that is a big concern. I've seen some websites have him in their top 100, 120 overall. If you don't have your footwork down, then to me, I got to lower you. It's all about footwork. You could have the strongest arms, you could have an 8-pack, a 12-pack, whatever it is. Your chest could, you could have like a 50-inch chest for all I care. But if you don't have your footwork down, you're not going to make it as an offensive lineman. So that's why I've got Emory Jones at 16 on my list. Number 15 is a Johnny Cornelius from the Oregon Ducks. All right, 6'4", 310 pounds. Very, very powerful. Has some pretty good athleticism, excellent footwork, and he knows how to use his hands. That first punch is quite precise. He generates a very good push in the run game. He knows how to create leverage to open up lanes in the run game. Very high football IQ. He recognizes stunts, blitzes, so he's a reliable protector. Where he can stand to improve, His pad level plays a little upright at time, and his consistency with the hand technique to maximize his power. He can place it well, but it can be a little bit, he doesn't always get it where he needs to get it. Cornelius is more of a project here. I would put him in the 5th round, and I put him number 15 on this list. Number 14. Number 14 is going to be Logan Brown from Kansas, 6'6", 311 pounds. Now, Logan Brown, you don't see too many Kansas Jayhawks on these lists, but I'm going to include a Jayhawk here. 6'6", 311, multi-year starter at both Wisconsin and Kansas. Not the biggest player that we're going to talk about, but still very strong. Tested great at the combine, moves well as far as straight up, back and forth goes. Sustains his blocks well. Again, this is another player that could stand to learn to place his hands a little bit better. The balance also needs to be a little bit better when he's moving laterally. But the results, very promising. Allowed just 6 pressures, no sacks all year. This is sort of a jack of all trades, master at none. It's a potential starter in a year or two. I see day 3 with him, round 4, maybe even round 5. But there is something here to work with. All right. Hey, David D., how you doing, man? Hope you're having a good week. Hope it's a good Wednesday for you. Oh, for any men players out there, NFL Red Zone host Scott Hansen will be the new in-game voice for Madden NFL 26. Very cool. So we got any Madden players? I hope that makes you happy. That's offense just isn't doing a freaking thing. This is a disgrace. Number 13, we're going to get into some names that I think we're going to be a little more familiar with. We're starting with Holland Pierce from Rutgers University. 6'7", 342 pounds. And you can tell just by this picture that this is a big, big man, a massive man. This is elite size and length for the position. His arms are almost 37 inches. Tons of experience. He started at both left tackle and right tackle. Seems a little bit more suited to play right tackle in the NFL. This is a road grader in the run game. He eliminates power rushes with his mass and his brute strength. Pure power is what he is. With his hands, he's got good, violent pop, pretty accurate as well. If anything, being 6'7", he has issues with, tall tackle problems. He can lose the leverage battle at times. And he's not going to fit every offense. And that's because he is not one who has a lot of good movement. All right. He is not going to give you lateral movement at his size. His footwork, again, a bit slow, a little bit clunky. If you're a speed rusher, you're probably going to be able to beat him at this point. And also at his size, you're not going to expect him to get to the second level very easily. And honestly, his production has not been that good. He allowed 21 pressures this year, but I think he would be a very good developmental run tackle for a run-first offense in a power gap scheme. Put it this way. If the Jets had kept Morgan Moses for 1 year and then they drafted Pierce as the right tackle at about the 4th round and let him learn under Moses, I'd have been 100% on board with that. But you're not going to draft Holland Pierce with the expectation that he's going to be starting for you this coming September. All right. Let's go to number 12. 1 second. We have a little family thing going on that I must address. Oh, well. All right. Number 12, Charles Grant from William and Mary. Of course, the school I only lived about 20 or 30 minutes from for about 7 years or so. Very, very good school. No doubt about it. May not be known for their football, but they got a pretty good program for their conference. So Charles Grant, 6'4", 311 pounds. This is a super athletic tackle, and that alone gives him a ton of potential. He has a lower body that is really, really strong and really, really quick. All right. And he has 35-inch arms. That's pretty long for an offensive tackle in this class. Whether you want him to block for the run or pass, he could do both quite well. One of the things that I like about him, he finds his footwork and positioning well before he engages. So he always makes sure he's got his feet in position before he takes out a defender. Now, as far as cons go, he's more of a run zone blocker. He might need to add a little bit of strength at this point, and his hand technique needs to be refined. And obviously, playing at William & Mary, you're not exactly playing against SEC opponents. So again, I see another project here, but definitely one who's got some potential to be a starter in the league. So Charles Grant, I've got him down at number 12. Number 11, I'm going to go from a school I used to live by to a school I basically live next to, NC State. I'm going with Anthony Belton at number 11, 6'5", 340 pounds, big size there. Did a great job at the Senior Bowl, was basically dominant over there. His strength was what stood out. He has a very good anchor. He shuts down speed rushers. The combination of the length and power are what makes him very intriguing. All right. He excels in pass protection. He uses his size and footwork to keep the edge rushers at bay, and he can still keep his balance against power rushes. Now, in the run game, he still generates good push, plays very aggressively, and he will open up lanes for ball carriers. And if you want Belton to play inside, he can do that. Some people think he's a little bit more suited for guard. I think if anything, he could improve his pad level and his hand placement to maximize that power and it'd be a little more consistent. So I think the upside is very high, but it does need a little bit of refining. So again, like Charles Grant, this is a player where you want to have a very good coach in place and maybe give him a year to develop before he becomes a starter. But I do see starter potential in him for sure, as does Harlan Abraham. Good eyes, Harlan. There we go. All right. So that's number 11. Now we're going to go on to number 10. Now, this is a player that's many people have slated as an interior lineman. I think he's going to get a shot at tackle first. And it's Jonah Savaiinaea from Arizona. I pretty much said it. So he is 6'5", 336 pounds. So he started his college career as a right guard, but he's been a right tackle for the last 2 years. Quick out of his stance, great lateral agility, more of a pass protector than a run blocker at this point. And with that combination, his feet and his pass blocking ability, that will keep him in the league for a good amount of time, no matter what position they put him at. Now, he's not very used to playing in space, so that's something he's got to get used to. And again, needs to develop a little bit more strength. But hey, I personally would rather teach one of these kids. I'd rather say, hey, go put some muscle on as opposed to teaching them footwork or teaching them blocking technique. All right. The mass can be added. And at the combine, really good runner. Ran a 4.9 40-yard dash. So I think he's going to go around. I got a round 3 grade on him, but it depends on the team if they're going to put him at guard or at tackle. So there's a big question there. Now, number 9 on my list, this is a player that I think a lot of people have in their top 5. I am not big on this player, and it's Cam Williams from Texas, 6'5", 335. I just see too much inconsistency and inexperience to put him any higher than this. He's got great athleticism, got great length. He's a mauler in the run game as well. Very powerful hands, gets to the second level very well, and he does a very good job with using his size and length to keep the pass rusher away from the quarterback. Here's what I don't like. He's played only 1 year at right tackle against top players like Walker and Williams, those type of guys. Against the best players, he did not show out very well. This year, he allowed 26 pressures and 5 sacks. His hands are all over the place. His footwork, very messy at this point. Also prone to taking a lot of penalties, something we as Jet fans know a lot about. Some people have him as a plug and play. I don't. I think he needs refining. There is ability there, no doubt about it. But I'm going around 3, and even then, I'm tempted to lower him even more than that. But he is a pure tackle, which I can't really say about Jonah and Anthony Belton beforehand. So Cam Williams, I've gone all the way down number 9. Now, number 8, this is somebody I'm a little bit higher on than some other people are. It's Chase Lunt from UConn, 6'8", 305. So he has started for 4 years for the Huskies as their right tackle. He's monstrous, 6'8", still very athletic. He is one of the best run blocking tackles in all of college football. Had an 80.1 run blocking grade, and that's 13th among all tackles. He gets to the second level very well. He is more than willing and able to engage linebackers. So he's got very good agility, good field awareness. And not only that, he has only allowed 2 sacks in his 4-year career, an 80.1 pass blocking grade as well, same as his run blocking score. That's 49th among all tackles. So he has allowed a few pressures, but only 2 sacks in 4 years. So he's going to excel in the run game. All right. Over 1,600 snaps, 92 plus run blocking grade. If anything, he could get that body mass up again, 305 pounds. Maybe he could add 15, 20 pounds. And again, you do have to worry about the level of competition, UConn. So I still like what I'm seeing here. I got him as around 3, but I've got pretty good hopes for Chase Lunt becoming a pretty good starter, especially if you're looking for a run blocking right tackle. And we know the Jets are looking for that. Just put a few pounds on. So maybe just have some of those Ted Steam cheeseburgers or something like that, or some of that New Haven pizza. Oh boy. Now it's 3-1. Jesus. I'm glad I picked up Otto Lopez in fantasy baseball. What can I say? Still early, but oh my god. Yeah, there's no reason the hitting should be this bad. There's no reason for it. Number 7, I've got Osby Trapillo from Boston College, one of the most popular offensive tackles among Jet circles. 6'8", 316 pounds, very technically proficient. Played both tackle positions, which is quite rare in this class. Started in 2022 as a left tackle, had a 61.8 grade. Last 2 years, 74.9, 76.8 at right tackle. So he definitely seems to be a right tackle by instinct. Very good run blocker because he knows how to create leverage. He uses his hands well, but he's really a better pass blocker than he is a run blocker. He kicks out quickly, gets to the second level very well. His footwork, not as fast as you would like it to be, and he does need to recognize blitzes and stunts a little bit better. He has a high floor because he is so technically proficient, okay? And he's got that little bit of nastiness inside of him too that we all really like. I've seen late day 2, early day 3. I don't know if he's quite as great as a lot of people think that he is, but I think if you want to go 3rd round, then that is fair game. Hey, Wild Wave, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Glad that you are here, man. Oh, boy. Let's just... Harlan Abraham, yep, seems like a good offensive tackle. Could start right away. Both cons could be coached. Yeah, they could. They could. I guess just depends on your coachability. So, yeah. But, yeah, definitely a hard-nosed, nasty player, and that does go a long way. Let's go to number 6 on my list, and this is somebody that the Jets are very, very interested in. It's Ariante Ursary from Minnesota, from the Golden Gophers, 6'6", 331 pounds. Now, he played on the left side for the Golden Gophers for 3 years, but he is projected to be a natural right tackle. He's used to a zone running scheme, and he brings very good size and length, pure power to that tackle position. Very good hands, an explosive first step forward, quick footwork, so he is a very good zone run blocker. He's also one of the best I've seen at sustaining the blocks because he has very good very good grip strength, very powerful hands. He will maintain those blocks through the whistle. But his natural build, he's kind of high-waisted, so the issue with that is it's tough for him to get leverage, to get a little bit low, so he has to be able to keep NFL rushers in front of him. But a very high floor prospect, does everything well, maybe doesn't do anything extraordinary, but when you combine the size, the strength, the power, and pretty good athleticism, he's going to contribute very, very quickly. I've got a round 2 grade on Ariante Ursary. All right, then we get to the top 5. I will warn you, I am including one tackle who's sub-project as an interior lineman, but I am including him here as tackle. Number 5 on my list is Josh Connerly from Oregon. And Dom C just shed a tear. 6'5", 311 pounds, dominated the combine. He had a 1.71 10-yard split. That's the fastest of any offensive lineman. Now he's got a very athletic frame, solid bulk, long arms, very good movement skills for a player who brings adequate size and very good length to the position. Excellent at play recognition. He recognizes stunts, blitzes, any exotic package. He diagnoses it well. Now, this is another player who may be more suited for a zone-oriented running scheme, but he's thrived in gap assignments as well. He keeps that low pad level, very coordinated. That makes it easy for him to get to the second level and block a linebacker. Now, in the pass game, he has quick feet, he has patient hands, pops very well off the line of scrimmage, so he can cut off a speed rusher, and he can redirect the counter rushes as well. If anything, he's a little bit prone to lunging at times, so maybe the anticipation could be a little bit better. And I said earlier, he's good at recognizing plays, but when he doesn't, he is prone to lunging. And his overall run blocking, it's good, but it's not great. It's more average compared to the rest of his game. But if he could continue in those two areas, he could be one of the better starters in the NFL, especially for a zone blocking scheme. I don't know if he's a day one starter. It's not impossible. Right now, I've got him as a late day one, early day two draft pick. So, but his name definitely is rising in the draft rankings. But again, I think he's a little bit more specific to a certain scheme. Number 4, we're going to go to Kelvin Banks Jr., our second Longhorn on the list, 6'4", 320 pounds. So with Kelvin Banks, what you like about him the most is his movement skills, his run blocking ability. It makes him very versatile. He keeps his hands inside, and he's very patient with that initial punch. He's got the quickness to match the speedy edge rusher. He reacts well to defensive stunts. And as far as his run blocking goes, he's very sound, but he has great mobility in space. That may be the best thing about Banks is when you get him in space, he can block very, very well. Great college production. Allowed only 1 sack on 912 snaps at left tackle. Say a quick hello to the great Jets. Mess. How you doing, man? Hope you're having a good night. Channel member as well. There you go. Glad you're here, brother. Yep, we're all the way down to number 4 on our top 16 offensive tackles list. And we're going to break these guys down in a little bit more depth. So with Banks, you worry a little bit about the arm length. Could hinder him a bit at tackle. Athleticism, not great, but it is pretty good. When Banks struggles, here's the thing. He sets up too deep or his feet settle a little bit too early. So this is a player who's a little bit prone to leaning or lunging rather than moving his feet. So he's got to get in the habit of quick feet and stepping quickly because, again, very good in space, but he's got to have the quickness, not just being fast. There is a difference. So if you're looking for movement from an offensive tackle, this may not be your guy, being with his overall coordination because the hands can be a little bit they could be a little bit random and the feet can be a little bit random. And when that happens, you're usually in trouble. And the other thing, Banks only has 37 career starts. He definitely has the raw ability to be a day one starting tackle and develop into a starter. I'm putting him as a round 1 grade, but overall it's the back of round 1. And there are 3 others that I'm ranking a little bit higher than I'm ranking him. It's 4-1. Oh my God. This is a disgrace. If you know, you know. All right. Number 3 on the list, we're going to go to Josh Simmons from Ohio State. There are some who have him ranked as the top tackle in the class, 6'5", 309 pounds. So here are his strengths. He played 6 games this year. And in those 6 games, he put out the most consistent film and best film in the class. More than an adequate frame. Very flexible, creates leverage, very good foot speed, keeps his balance. He knows how to use his hands very well. Superb in pass protection. Well suited for a power-based run scheme. Most of the guys that I've talked about are zone run scheme oriented. This is a power-based run scheme player. All right. Now, the issue is he's coming off a torn ACL. Could use a little bit more raw strength in the upper body, but he's more suited for the power game. But very, very intelligent, very good with his movement. It makes him worthy of a top 50 pick. I think he could be a starter early on with the pass protection. Allowed one pressure and no sacks. Okay, I think this is a left tackle though. I don't see him shifting over to the right side, and I think he's going to go late round 1, maybe early round 2, but I think late round 1 is a good spot for Simmons. Got a nice little influx of people who just dropped by. Thank you very much for dropping in. Please hit that thumbs up button. It is always very much appreciated. All right, number 2, I'm going to put in Will Campbell from LSU. This one might be a little bit controversial. Some look at him as a guard. Lord knows what his arm length is today. It tends to change day to day, so who really knows? But he's 6'6", 323 pounds. He's got the ideal height, bulk, and athleticism for that position. His RAS score, hey JD, hope you're doing well. Not that you're watching, but he has a 9.91 RAS. Wow, pretty good. Now, he's played left tackle in college. The thing with Campbell, he knows what it takes to be great in the trenches. His fundamentals are very good. He's got a competitive nature, high football IQ. In here, he's got everything you could want. In 3 years, he's allowed 4 sacks, 49 pressures on almost 1,600 pass block snaps. As a run blocker, I'm going to mention Harlan's comment right here that Simmons needs to work on his run blocking. So in 2023, here's what's interesting. 2023, Campbell's run blocking grade at PFF was 84.9. 2024, it went down to 68.6. It plummeted. So that begs the question, what happened? And that's something any team meeting with him has to talk to him about. Certain games he was great, certain games he struggled. He could use a little more punching power. The short arms may indeed translate to guard. I think it's a safe pick. I think it's somebody who can be a very good lineman in the NFL. What we really don't know is how high is the ceiling. I think at worst, he's a dependable starter. I don't know if he's quite a Pro Bowler. It depends on how he's used. But as far as his mindset goes, he's got what you want. All right. And then number 1, I think you all know who this is going to be. There's really no doubt in my mind. Okay. Simmons needs to work on the run blocking. Don't think he can shift to right tackle. Now, he's going to be a left tackle. Yeah, I don't think Simmons and the Jets are a fit. Number 1, yep, it's Armand Membu from Missouri. And notice I flipped the font to black as opposed to white because white on gold does not look very good. All right, so Membu is 6'4", 332 pounds. Very impressive statistical production. But I want to talk about Membu a little bit. He was not even in the first round conversation until after the college season ended. In December 15th, his consensus on the big board was number 66. January 12th, it was 46. January 28th, number 32. Now he's all the way up to 8. He's gone up 58 spots in basically 3.5 months. So you have to wonder, is it a red flag when a prospect stock rises this fast without playing any football? Why wasn't he generating the buzz during the season? Was he just being overlooked because he plays at Missouri? Is this film second-round caliber that's just being outweighed by his testing numbers? Let's talk about those testing numbers. At the Combine, he ran a 4.9140, second fastest of any offensive lineman. Not any tackle. Offensive lineman. 9.7 on the broad jump. Super, super explosive. Yeah, I'm going with Membu until I hear otherwise. So you're welcome, Dave. Yeah, Membu. There we go. So I'm going with Membu until I hear otherwise. But we'll go with that. So he's got the testing numbers. He's got the huge frame, but he had a dominant season in 2024. Missouri's right tackle. He allowed 0 sacks, 0 quarterback hits, 8 pressures on 411 pass blocking snaps. Also had an 87.6 run block grade at Pro Football Focus. Now, as a reminder, Missouri is in the SEC. They're playing Alabama, Texas A&M, all these other teams in the SEC. And he's only 20 years old. He's 20. He wasn't dominating, the teams that Connecticut was playing or William & Mary was playing. He was playing against guys who are going to be playing on Sundays next year and in 2 years. He'll dominate in the run game as well as anybody in the draft class. He attacks the hip on down blocks, so he does a number on defensive tackles. And again, week 1 of next year, he can't buy a beer right now. He and Braylon Allen got to go out for milkshakes and Red Bulls, okay? But the fact that he's only 21, he hadn't hit his ceiling yet. So again, having a good coach will help, but the raw ability with him is amazing. But the ceiling is the sky. If I got to give you a knock on him, again, he can lean a little bit. He's not the deepest bender, and he can sustain the blocks a little bit better. But again, blocking sustainability, that can be taught. So I think he's going top 10. And if the Jets let him get past 7, I don't know what we're doing. I would not know what we're doing. So I got Membu as my number 1 offensive tackle. Wild wave. I don't care about the speed. Not like he's playing running back or fullback. I care if you can keep our quarterback safe. Well, but when you got a quarterback who's running RPOs and you don't have a blocking tight end right now, you got to do that too. Unlike Brees, can he run up the A game? Oh gosh, I swear, when we get like a competent run blocking offensive line and coaches, it's going to make our running backs look so much better. The running backs were the product of our blocking last year. I think more so than ever. I really think that. I really, really do. All right, guys. So I'll tell you what we will do here. Okay, Zook is a class act. Oh yeah, the Rangers start in 10 minutes as if anybody cares. Okay, great. Oh, Luis Torrens for the one out single. Well, whoop de freaking do. Very exciting. Let's see if Lindor can actually do his job now. Top of the order coming up with one out. Mets down 4-1. Unbelievable. All right, guys. So I hope that was that was fun. Hope it was informative. You might agree, you might disagree, and that is totally good. Yep, we definitely need to spend on a run blocking, whether it's tackle or tight end. Yeah, I the more I think about wide receiver, I would rather wait till the second round or third round, maybe even the fourth round, probably second or third round. And I will say that is a big reason why Tyler Warren is very intriguing because he helps with both the receiving game and the blocking game. But if Membu makes it to the Jets, you know what? I'll take my chances that I could get tight end and wide receiver a little bit later on because it's going to be very hard to get a starting caliber offensive tackle in the second round in this draft. You'll get a good project, but it's not a situation where the Jets can afford a project. They need a starter and they need him quickly. So again, if the Jets were able to keep Morgan Moses, and I'm not faulting Darren Muji for not giving Moses the contract that the Patriots did, but then I would be fine with a player like a Chase Month, with a Ozzie Trapillo or somebody like that, or Anthony Belton. I think that would make sense, but we need a starter because I can't trust Chuck Woomer right now. I can't trust him, not yet anyway. All right, guys. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We got a nice turnout here. This is pretty good. So we got a couple of things to do. First, we're going to play Jets trivia, and then we're going to spin the wheel because every week we're spinning the first round wheel to tell us who the Jets are going to draft in just 22 days. It is 22 days. Is it me or is this draft season just sneaking up on us? I feel like sometimes it feels like we're months and months away. We're only 3 weeks out from the draft. That's crazy. That is crazy to think about. But it's pretty. The closer it gets, I think we're going to get a little bit more excited about it. I do. Oh, Lindor with a hit, and now Soto is the tying run at the plate with one out in the top of the eighth. Very good. Well, Juan, if ever we needed it, yeah, we need it. All right, so we'll do that, and I think we'll do a mock draft. We did a mock draft last week, so I think we're going to go ahead and do that again. So, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, you know what time it is. It's right around 7 o'clock p.m. on Wednesday night. It's about that time every week. You know what happens. Even when I'm on vacation, even when I'm deep in the heart of Texas, they actually have a labyrinth of Jets knowledge down there. Oh, yes, they do. And I head into that labyrinth of Jets knowledge. And I pull up the websites. I bust open the books. I dust off the Encyclopedia Britannica. And I, Watch UK 99, challenge you, the most loyal fans of the most loyal fan base in all of the NFL. Just how much do you know about your New York Jets? So if you're ready, I think you're ready. Let's play Jets Trivia. And Torrens is out going home on a ground ball to the infield. Just great. Just great. Up comes Alonso with 2 outs, runners on first and second, 2 for 3 with 2 doubles. All right. Okay, so we're doing, as you all know, we're doing draft trivia. So tonight's question is relates to the Jets and their draft history. So, and it's actually going to relate to recent times. Last time I went a little bit too far back. So I wanted to do one that was a little bit more recent. So we're going to talk about the 2024 Jets tonight. And your trivia question tonight goes like this. Name the 3 2024 Jets who play college football at The Ohio State University. And I know you're going to get 2 of them. 5 minutes are on the clock, guys. So throw your answers down there in the chat, and I'll let you know if it's a right answer, it's a wrong answer, or it's a downright nutty answer. All right. All right. Harlan Abraham goes with Garrett Wilson. As if I need to say it. Is it Garrett Wilson? Of course. So Garrett Wilson is one. And let me turn the volume up a little bit. Yeah. The thing with these sound bites, some of them are louder than others. That's the way it goes. Yep. Both Wild Wave and Davey D mention Jeremy Ruckert, just the immortal Jeremy Ruckert. And now you got two. There's one left to get. Can you get that one in the next 3 minutes and 45 seconds? 2-2 to Alonzo. So, yep. So obviously the Jets are going to have a few more Ohio State Buckeyes this year, adding Josh Myers, adding Justin Fields. Maybe they'll draft an Ohio State player as well. But last year it was only 3. Danger Zone goes with Josh Myers. Danger Zone last year, yeah, Josh Myers was in Green Bay. So, yeah. So last season, that's right. I will give you a hint. He was on defense. Lonzo fouling a bunch of pitches off. That's got to do it now. They have to score at least these 2 runs. Another foul. All right, so one other Jet played college football at Ohio State, was on the team last season. Someone who has since left, I presume? No, I don't think so. I know it feels like half our roster left, but no. He is still a Jet as of now. Obviously, this is a little bit more of an under the radar player than Jeremy Ruckert or Garrett Wilson are. So, another foul, 4 foul balls in a row by Alonzo, and that ball was way low and away. David D says Lee Cravat, of course. Yeah. The Cravats went to every college, so they're the correct answer for every question. So with a 3-run homer to center field, and we got a brand new ball game, baby. Pete Alonso. As a matter of fact, oh, sorry, I just had a moment there. Oh, we're back, baby. We're back, and we're loving every minute of it. Oh, gosh. Hope the microphone didn't fade out. I'm having some computer issues where I got to use the computer mic and the computer camera. Yeah, the USB drives are not working the way I want them to work. So I'm going a little bit old school. So I hope the quality is still good. But I might need to get this laptop looked at at Best Buy or some other place. So, all right, guys, 1 minute left on this. Again, this guy played defense last year. Wasn't a starter, but he did get a decent amount of playing time. Did get some time. Danger goes with Chaz Surratt. I think Chaz Surratt played for Minnesota. Yeah, North Carolina. Oh, he played in North Carolina. Oh, okay. He went to the Vikings. That's why I was thinking that. All right, so he played for the Tar Heels. Hey, Nick Shine, how you doing, man? Who just did the the Most Tortured Jets tournament? Sorry if I'm not getting the name quite right, but that was a couple of episodes. So if you want to go back and relive some Jets Tortured, definitely check out the Nick Shine show. David D says Qantas Stiggers. No, not Stiggers. I don't think Qantas Stiggers went to college, right? Oh, there we go. Time's up, guys. All right. I'll give Nick a second here, but yeah, Qantas Stiggers did not play college football. So the 2024 Jets who played college at Ohio State. So Garrett Wilson, Jeremy Ruckert, Nick. Nick. I'll give you a guess. I'll give you a guess. Nick is usually one of the. He's usually one of my foils, along with like Curly Norman and guys like that. So, Danger Zone goes with Derek Barnes. No, all right. I'm gonna go Holmes. Holmes? No. No, wasn't Clay Holmes or any of those guys. The correct answers are Jeremy Ruckert, Garrett Wilson, and Kendall Sheffield, the cornerback, who often would get elevated when, say, DJ Reed was banged up or Sauce was banged. MC2. MC2 was hurt a lot this year. Something not a lot of people think about, but he was hurt most of the year, if not all year. And a lot of times it was Kendall Sheffield and Isaiah Oliver who got a lot of that playing time. So Kendall Sheffield. Wild Wade. Who? Oh boy. Yes, it was Kendall Sheffield with one L, mind you. Yeah, make sure you don't misspell the name. I'm sure he gets offended. No, he's actually 28 years old. Kendall Sheffield has been with Atlanta, Houston, Dallas, Houston again, San Francisco, Tennessee, and now with the Jets. So, but yeah, it was Kendall Sheffield. So, but he did play on the team this year, and so he is the correct answer. So it's also Jalen Holmes from Norfolk, Virginia. I'd like to point out. Yep, went to Ohio State. Did he actually get in a game though? That's the only thing. I'm gonna check that. Pro Football Reference. Yeah, because if you're right, you're right. I got no problem. Jalen Holmes. Okay, here he is. Let's see. 2024. Okay. Played 5 games. All right. So there were 4. Okay. I only wanted you to name 3. So that's the way it goes. Danger's got to punch out. All right. I'll see you later, man. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, guys. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We are going to go ahead and do one wheel spin tonight. All right. There we go. So I'm going to share. Now, for those who haven't been with us the last couple weeks, who have missed this, on this wheel, we have the name of basically every Jet outside of Jackson Dart that the Jets have been rumored to draft with the first overall pick. We've got trade down options. We've got trade up options. And we are tracking every pick that we make because, as we always say, the wheel never lies. Ever. So far, here's what we've landed on. We've landed on Kelvin Banks, Mason Graham, and that was a trade up. Shadur Sanders again. And last week, we landed on Travis Hunter. All right, so we've got 3 weeks left. So wherever we land on the most, I guess that's who our next first-round pick is going to be. So we are all here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We are all together as a dysfunctional, passionate, loyal Jets family. And now we have just got the notice that the pick is in. And Roger Goodell is coming up to the podium. With the 7th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, shut up! The New York Jets select we should only pray. Abdul Carter. Well, I think the odds are pretty much infinite that he gets to pick number 7. I think it's a miracle if he gets out of the top 4. But hey, we landed on Abdul Carter, so there's one for you. So that's what we're looking at here. All right, so I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead real quick, and let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and remove this, and we're going to do one mock draft tonight. There we go. Let's go. If only, Wild Wave. If only, man. That would be pretty amazing if it happened. Okay, so I'm going to go back to share screen. And I'm going to go to the draft page. There we go. 2, 3. There we go. All right. So we're on New York Jets, 7 rounds, fast, and we'll enter the solo draft. Here we go. All right. So yeah, we'll be open to trades tonight. Let's see where this goes. So first of all, in the top six, it was Cameron Ward, Armand Membu went number 2 overall, Abdul Carter to the Giants, Mason Graham to the Patriots. Wow. Travis Hunter to the Jaguars. There's no way he's getting past number 5. And Ted McMillan goes to the Raiders. So if we look at the board here, you've got Will Campbell, a running back, which I know we're not going to do. Will Johnson, if we want to double up at corner. We could go Shadur Sanders. We could go Tyler Warren, which I think a lot of Jet fans would want to do if this is the way it fell. So let's look at the trades. We have 2 offers. Now, the Bears will want us to move down 3 picks, and they'll give us number 39, so a very early pick in the second round if we give up 73. So they will give us their 2, and we'll give them our 3. I don't love the trade. I don't hate it. I think I could counter that and maybe give them a 4 instead. Let's see what the second offer is. Okay, this gets really complicated. So the Packers want to trade with us again. They want us to trade 7 and 145 for 23, 54, 87. So those are all later picks in the first, second, and third round. Plus, they'll give us their second and third round picks next year to go down 16 picks. Yeah, Huawei says counter the Bears because I don't want to give up picks. And also, you know what? For the sake of this exercise, it doesn't really work all that well. I don't mind doing it once in a while if I'm moving down 1 pick, but not 16. So I'm going to reject that. I'm going to counter the Bear offer. So let's see. I'm going to see if I can sneak in maybe the 145. I think this one's unlikely, but I'm going to try it. All right. Let's counter one more time, and I'll offer them 110. That's been accepted. Okay, so we were able to save 37 spots. So that's pretty good. So now we've got picks 10, and we've added 39 as well. So we're going to have 2 early second-round picks. I like that. All right, trade offer here. We've got 2 offers again. Now, the Cardinals want us to go down 6 spots from 10 to 16, and they'll give us 47 if we give up 145. So if they give us 47, we'd have 39, 42, and 47. Wow, that'd be pretty loaded. Yeah, you're right in the middle of that second round. That'd be pretty good. The Lions, forget about it. 28, 60, 102 and a second. This is basically the Packers trade, only worse. No. All right, guys. So looking at the board right now, we've got Campbell. The Bears did move up for Tyler Warren. Ooh, okay. So we lost out on Warren. We've lost out on Membu. We've lost out on McMillan. Lost out on the quarterbacks. So at this point, what would we do? Will we draft Campbell? Will we go Shamar Stewart and upgrade the edge rushing? Kelvin Banks, I talked about him, but do we want to go there already? I got to be honest, I'm not in love with this draft so far. Trade back with the Cards, Huawei says. Yeah, I think I'm with it. I'm more than willing to go back 6 spots. Let's see if I can do any kind of a counter. Let's see if I can give him 162 instead. No, so this is pretty much a take it or leave it trade. Okay. I'm going to accept the trade because, to be honest, I'm not sold on anybody in this spot. All right, 3 trade offers. I think we may have traded down enough at this point, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think I want to make any of these trades, to be honest. Yeah, I think we need to pick. We need to pick at some point. All right. Because at this point, look, we got 16, 39, 42, 47, 73, 162, 186, and 207. So we still have the same 8 picks. We still have 8 picks, same as we did before. It's just we've increased our second round arsenal. All right. So as far as what we have on the board, we've got Malachi Starks. If we want to address safety right away, Nick Emanwari, who I love, the safety from South Carolina. If you like Colston Loveland at tight end, great. I'm not the biggest Loveland guy, but if you like him, great. Matthew Golden, if we want to go wide receiver. Offensive tackle, who do we have? Josh Simmons is ranked 25th. We could take Simmons, but again, he's more of a left tackle. See, Gray Zabel is ranked 30th on this list. I'm going to go back to offensive tackle here. Yeah, Ursary is ranked all the way down at 41. So is Connerly. I think we could get either one of them all the way. We could get Ursary or Connerly with our 39th pick. So I feel like we should wait on tackle. It's a situation where you kind of take what the board gives you, and not that we need a safety as much as we need other positions, but We talked about Starks, how good he is, and how, I have him ranked as the top safety, as does almost everybody. Matthew Golden, I like at wide receiver. I don't love him. It's like the Texas guys I like, I don't love. Golden, Banks. Yeah, not big on the Longhorns right now. 5'11", 191. Is that the receiver you want going opposite Garrett? It's getting to the point where I think we might go Loveland. Do have Loveland and the two safeties. Wow, Wave says, hey, yeah, Chet, hey, feel free to contribute. Your opinions are more than welcome and much appreciated. I'm leaning Starks. I could go Loveland. I'm a big Emanwari fan. I mean, he has a perfect grasp, 6'3", 220. He's a physical, like he destroys people. I got to be honest, my favorite player on the board right now is Emanwari. He really is. And then I think between 39, 42, 47, yeah, we could address tight end, we could address offensive tackle, and we could even address wide receiver. So I'm leaning Emanwari. But I would go Starks, Loveland, Emanwari, any one of those three. I really wouldn't go anywhere else at this point. Yeah, well, I agree. The size for him is just too intriguing to pass up. So, yeah, 6'3", 220. And he's still exceptional in coverage, according to this. He has been flying up the draft boards as like 4.38 40-yard dash, 43-inch vertical jump, arguably the greatest testing performance by a safety ever at the combine. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to take Emanwari at 16. Believe me, there'll be a portion of Jet fans that are outraged if we do it, but I think it's what makes sense. All right, 2 trade offers. Arizona wants us to go down 39 spots. No. Denver wants us to go down 12 spots, and they'll give us a third next year. No. All right. So I'll just take a quick look. So Xavier Watts just went. Ursary just went. Mike Green, Zabel went. Emeka Buka went. I'm not surprised by that. All right, so we got 39, 42, and 47. So if we look at the big board here, Tyleik Williams and Kenneth Grant, if you want to upgrade, I don't think we could go defensive tackle right now because we just addressed defense and we really need the offensive help. But this is what the board's giving us, a lot of defense. Mason Taylor's right there at tight end. Josh Connerly's there at offensive tackle. If we go to wide receiver, though, Jalen Noel's not one of my favorites. I like Trey Harris. I love Jalen Royals. Isaiah Bond is very good. Jaden Higgins and Jack Besh. Down with them for sure. And we got pick 73. Maybe we could get Besh at 73. Or Alec Aomanor, Kyle Williams. There's still some good wide receivers to get. There's still some very good ones there. Can I do a fast draft with no trades, Jets mess? Well, too late now, but we're done trading tonight. Yeah, I made a bunch of trades because, hey, who knows what might happen. All right. Get Grant. Well, could. All right. So I'm going to get Kenneth Grant at 39. Trey Harris. There goes Connerly. That's the only problem. See, that's the thing though. We lost out on the tackles. So now we're going to we'll wait a little bit for maybe a Trapio. All right. I could get Tyleik Williams or I could get Mason Taylor. I'm going to go through this a little bit fast. I think we got to get the tight end. I really think we have to go offense. So I'm just going to isolate offense, and I'm going to draft Mason Taylor at tight end. No to trades. Normally I would take that trade, a 4th round next year to move down 4 spots, but I won't in this case. Jackson Dart is somewhat tempting, but All right. Let's pull up the big board. So Tyleik Williams is still there, except that we already took Kenneth Grant. I'm regretting that decision now. All right. We don't need a running back. I don't think we're taking a quarterback at 40. Offensive tackle. Yeah, I mean, Embo to me is an interior lineman. I'm not a Jones guy. I mean, I could take Trapio, but still, later on, you could get Belton. Chase Lund is only at 130 on this, and I like him a lot more than that. I mean, Yeah, because we have 47, then we have 73. So the risk we'd be taking is that Trapillo would drop down to 73, and he's ranked 76 on this. Let me see what's at wide receiver. You know what? I think my preference is to go wide receiver here between Royals, Bond, Higgins, and Besh and Amner. I'm thinking Jalen Royals. 60205. Yeah. I mean, he can play inside or outside, really. Yeah, Higgins will give you the size, but I think he's going to be gone by the time we pick next. And I definitely like Jack Besh a lot, but I don't know. Aomanor, I think, has 6'1". Kyle Williams, pretty big, 5'10". Now he's only 5'10". Either way, I think we're reaching a little bit, but I think there's no other position where they're ready to start quite like Trapillo is as far as tackle goes. So it's a little bit bold, but I'm going to go ahead and take Trapillo and just get it out of the way and go right to wide receiver. All right, get rid of those. All right, so some of the wide receivers did go. I will check the big board here. Tay Ratledge, very good guard. I like TJ Sanders, a defensive tackle. See, I like these safeties, Mabuka and Winston. Yeah, that trade down with the Bears might hurt us a little bit. Yeah, I think we got to go wide receiver. I'm going to go Aomanor on this one. I'm thinking. I'll give everybody a moment, but I like Aomanor. Savion Williams is fine too. Johnson's fast, but he's not what we need. He's too small. So Aomanor has the tools to hypothetically thrive along the perimeter, large catch radius, impressive ball skills, good size for his speed for his size, hard to bring down after the catch, needs a little bit of help with his route running. You know what? That could be taught. I'm thinking Aomanor because we got to address the wide receiver position. I mean, our next pick is 162. Okay. We got to do it now. I'm going to get Aomanor. And now we wait and wait and wait. Wow, even Kyle McCord went. Okay. 162 for 171 and 239. Okay. So we look at the board. Let's do a quick refresh here. So we drafted Nick Emenwari to short the safety position, Kenneth Grant at defensive tackle. So we're going to have a pretty dang good defense next year if this is what we get. Mason Taylor at tight end, Ozzie Trapillo at offensive tackle, Alec Aomanor at wide receiver. All potential starters might need a little bit of help, but definitely good pieces. All right, so on the overall board, Jaden Phillips is there. Chase Lunt, who I mentioned I really like, he is there as well. Even though we did draft Trapillo, so there really doesn't do a lot to draft him. We could go linebacker. I'm going to check edge and linebacker here. Is Sawyer still available? Apparently not. Okay, so Sawyer must have been drafted already. Yep, Cowboys got Sawyer at 149. Okay. Linebacker, both Jack Kaiser and Teddy Buchanan are there. I think I looked at Lindenberg. Yeah, that wasn't the guy I liked. I think there was another linebacker who I liked. But Kaiser and Buchanan available at linebacker. That's not bad. Noah Williams from California. This is a guy I'm looking at. 6'0", 199, 3,300 snaps played. Outside corner, has been in the box slot, box safety in the slot. Can be a bit grabby, 17 penalties, but outstanding on-ball production, 9 pass breakups, 7 interceptions, looking to make plays. So if you're going to draft a corner in the 5th round, at least it's a playmaker. All right, then on offense, anybody a quarterback? I think we could wait on Cook or Miller to draft one of those guys. JJ may not be ready. Need another linebacker. Nick Nash is there at wide receiver if we want to double up at wide receiver, and we'd have to draft him right now. 162, 186, and 207. Do we want to double up at tight end? Do we want to go there? Brenningstool, Lachey, Conyers, Jackson Hawes. We know what a blocker he is. Yeah, I like Lachey. I like Brenningstool. I like Hawes. All right. So let's see here. I like the idea of adding another tight end or another wide receiver. I could do that, or a linebacker. I'm gonna read Kaiser and Buchanan's bios real quick. Outstanding in coverage, takes away open angles, zone drops are elite, has a strong feel for spacing, so clearly intelligent. Excellent closing speed, not the most force, but shed blocks, makes plays, effective blitzer, effective open field tackle, 4.6% career missed tackle rate. I like Kaiser right there. Buchanan, yep, high motor, a little bit, yeah, very, very fast, good leader, excels in run defense, gap penetration, leads to notable tackles for loss. Concerns are fluidity against athletic pass catchers. Both of these linebackers sound really good. I think I'm going to take a linebacker. Yeah, Boss is gone. Yep. I'm going to lead. Yeah, I think I'm going to lean. Yeah, I'm looking for any feedback here. Bottom of the ninth in Miami. All right. Mets go 1-2-3 in the ninth. Oh, Diaz pitched the eighth. Jose Budo's in now. All right, so we're going to the ninth inning. All right, so I'm thinking I want to go tight end, receiver, linebacker. So Hawes we can get a little bit later. I like Nick Nash. But I feel in case Quincy leaves or something were to happen, we could use a linebacker. I'm going to go. I just got a good feeling about Buchanan. I just like the description of Buchanan with the high motor, the leadership, the instincts. I'm gonna go with Teddy Buchanan. I've heard some good things about him. Yeah, all those other guys are gone now. All right. Sebastian Castro's still there, but we already addressed safety. I don't think we necessarily need to do it again. I'm gonna go to offense here. Let's see what we have. Got a couple of guards. Luke Lachey is there. Not too. LeJohntay Wester. I do like him. Tight end. I like. Yeah, I definitely think we need to take a tight end. I would think Lachey or I would take Hawes. Either one of those two guys. So Lachey, big-bodied, athletic, fluid, technical route runner. Perfect day 3 draft swing on athletic tight end who can contribute as a tight end 2 and on special teams early. Needs to develop core strength to become more of a blocker. You know what? I think we need the blocker at this point. I really do. Because Taylor's a good blocker, but he's not a great blocker. Ruckert's terrible. Let's get the best blocking tight end we have. Let's take Jackson Hawes. I'm game. And then finally we go to pick 207. And I'm tempted to take a kicker. I'm not going to kid. All right, guys. I'll give you guys anything that I should look at in particular on this one. And Budo gets the Marlins out 1-2-3 in the ninth. We go to extra innings. Man, I am hungry. Hey, chat. Yeah, definitely appreciate you guys hanging out for sure. Yeah, for the last hour and a half. But yeah, I need a little input here to figure out where we're going to go. So, got any feedback? If you have any ideas, any thoughts on where to go with the last pick, let me know. Otherwise, I'm probably just going to go kicker. Harlan, get the kicker from Michigan. All the kickers are there. Now, I like Fitzgerald from Florida State. The Michigan kicker? I don't see a Michigan kicker anywhere. I like Fitzgerald and I like Borregales. Oh, the linebacker from Michigan. Well, I mean, we just drafted one linebacker. Do we really need to draft another one? There it is. Okay. Michigan linebacker. I don't see a Michigan linebacker, bro. Jets Mess wants to go linebacker. We already did. Yeah, we got Buchanan. I don't think we need another one. All right. We could draft a developmental quarterback just in case. We could draft a Brady Cook or a Cam Miller if you wanted to draft a quarterback. 6th round. I mean, you pretty much have nothing to lose. So I could go quarterback. Michigan kickers in this year. He's not on the list, though. Pittsburgh, Florida State, Alabama, Pittsburgh, Alabama, Miami, Minnesota, Arizona, Temple, Ole Miss, Florida State. Yeah, so not on this list. And I like Fitzgerald because he kicks them long and he kicks them consistently. But if you don't want me to do that, no problem. Is there an edge prospect here that you like? Not too familiar with those guys yet, but we will be. Tight end, Lachey. I'm leaning Lachey right now. Just because I think that tight end room actually, we drafted 2 tight ends. What am I talking about? Never mind. Defensive tackle, I don't really see it. Honestly, I'm thinking quarterback or I'm thinking kicker. That's pretty much it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take the quarterback because I think there's gonna be some good kickers available, and I don't really trust the rankings. I'm just gonna take Cam Miller because the Jets have met with him. And you know what? If Jordan Travis isn't ready to go, then we got a young quarterback who is healthy and ready to go. Oh, Nazir Stackhouse, the defensive tackle. We know Rusty Spooner likes him. He went late. So this is our draft. And to think, we made all those trades and we still wound up with 8 picks, same as before. We got Nick Emenwari, the safety from South Carolina. Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle from Michigan. Mason Taylor helps solve our tight end issues. Ozzie Trapillo, I hope he's ready to start at right tackle. Alec Eumanor, very good receiver from Stanford. He'll be counted on early. And then later on, we drafted some tough players, Teddy Buchanan, Jackson Hawes, and Cam Miller. If you look at Trapillo, Buchanan, and Hawes, you got some tough lunch pail type players. So I got to tell you, I think it's a pretty good, tough blue-collar team that we're developing here, especially when you include Emenwari and how hard he hits. So we may not have the prettiest team, but we would have one of the most physical teams in the NFL if this was our draft. So that's what we're looking at right now, and we'll do another draft next week, see how it goes. Let's go ahead and remove that. All right. Well, hey, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. I hope you have a good rest of your Wednesday. Let's go Mets. Are the Yankees playing right now? Yankees are down 2-0 in the second. Hey, let's go Yankees. They're playing Arizona. So, Yankee fans, I hope your team wins. And Tyrone Taylor with a single. Luis Acuna to third. Mets have runners at the corner with nobody out. All right. I'm going to go ahead and listen to the rest of the Mets game. So, guys, have a great rest of your night. And I will see you right back here with more content from you all know where it is by now. The Wicker Chair. Have a good night, everybody. Be well.